Yes, today's date is 21 December 2022. Today's Viva topic is hierarchical of exceptions. First, we discuss about what is exception handling. Exception handling is a mechanism to use the handle the errors occur during the execution of a program and to maintain the flow of execution or to maintain the applications. This is this this is called as exception handling. Then we discuss about what is exception. Exception is nothing but uh, when you compile or run the program, uh, compile and run the program. That time it is a some exception occurs. The run or compile the program. This is called as exception. And then we discuss about type of exceptions. There are two type of exceptions. First is built-in exception and second one is user-defined exception. In a built-in exception, uh, inside a Java library, there are many exceptions that occur during the execution. This is called as built-in exception. For example, in a built-in exception, arithmetic exceptions, class not found exceptions, IO exceptions, and many exceptions occur in the. For example, in a class not found exception, you declare the class with a small case letter and you save the Java file as a capital letter. That time, compiler does not found any class. This is the error of class not found exception. And another example of built-in exception is arithmetic exception. When you define any integer value 5 and int a is equal to 5 and then int b is equal to 0, and you can divide a with b. That means it's going to infinite value. That time this showing the arithmetic error. This is called as arithmetic exceptions. Then we discuss about what is user defined error. User defined exception. In user defined exception, the exception is not handled by the programmer because of this exception arises due to the any mistake in your code or in your code. That's why a programmer cannot handle this type of exceptions. Then we discuss about exception hierarchy. In Java lang, throwable is the superclass of the exception class and error. That means exception class and error is the subclass of a throwable class. And in the the throwable is divided into two types. First one is a exception and second one is error. In exception also divided into two types. First one is check exception and second one is unchecked exception. And another part of a throwable class is error. In error, there are JVM and assist class. First, we discuss about exception types. There are first check exception. In check exception, the check during the compile time. This is called as check exception. In check exception, the exception in a some code methods are through the check exception, and it's handled by the exceptions. Either be it's specified with the through keyword. And another in a check exception, some examples like a class not found exception, IO exception, IO exception, and another one is IO exceptions. Interrupt exceptions. This file not found exceptions, class not found exception. This type of exception in check exception, and then we discuss about uncheck exception. In unchecked exceptions, there are this exception checked during the runtime, but the compile the check exception are checked with during the runtime. The difference in a check exception and uncheck exception is uncheck exception is checked during the runtime, and compile time check exception are checked during the compile time. In a uncheck exception, these are occurs by the when you mistake in your code. For example, in a uncheck exception, there are arithmetic exceptions, index out of bound exception. There are two types of index out of bound exception. First one is array index and array index out of bound exception, and another one is string out of bound exceptions, and another is, that's all. Thank you guys.